Hello everyone and welcome. This is Fastlane. This is where the grudge, the rivalry, the storybook tale between Finn Bálor and AJ Styles ends tonight. We are in Green Bay, Wisconsin for a big night of action. All up and down the card here this evening. Ricochet, Kota Ibushi, 6 months in the making, so much on the line. Will Ibushi join the Saviors here tonight, or will he have his redemption on the man who betrayed him at WrestleMania? Then, a dream match for the WWE Championship. Stories don't matter, rivalries don't matter, not when two of the greatest in the world collide in this ring. CM Punk and Kazuchika Okada for that belt. But our main event of the evening, the resting place for this tale. Finn Bálor and the WWE Tag Team Champions Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson against AJ Styles, Tama Tonga Tanga Loa. It's Fastlane, it's on the air, and it starts right now. And it starts with a big Intercontinental Championship match to get us going here this evening in Green Bay. It is going to be the Lunatic Fringe himself, Dean Ambrose, challenging the Switchblade, Jay White. Dean Ambrose defeated Marty Scurll to become the #1 contender to the Intercontinental title. Now, he has been getting geared up this last week and a half. He has been training. He has been getting himself focused for the opportunity in front of him to become Intercontinental Champion. A champion alone in this universe for the first time in a long, long while. Ambrose determined, focused, dialed in, looking to make it happen here this evening, but he does have a very tough obstacle in his way. Man who has been Intercontinental Champion for about 4 months now, I believe it to be, in the Switchblade, Jay White. Dean Ambrose does know what it's like to hold that Intercontinental title, though has held it on a number of occasions and for a number of days as well. Over cumulative reigns, I believe Ambrose may have the most amount of days held. However, this man is the one holding it right now, and he is looking to do everything that he can to hold on to it. He heads in off of the back of a shaky loss to Ricochet, but that will not falter the confidence, that will not falter the focus of Jay White as he prepares for this contest this evening. The Switchblade dialed in as he makes his way towards the ring here. Green Bay, packed house here for Fastlane. Packed house to witness these two fantastic athletes getting things underway, and a positive reception to them both as well for them as they make their way out. Thank you to everyone for tuning in wherever you are, watching on for this SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. 3 title matches here for you tonight, but plenty of grudges to be settled. And of course, that all-elusive main event, that huge 6-man tag that will finally close the chapter, for better or for worse, between Finn Bálor and AJ Styles. Right now, the premise and the focus is on the Intercontinental title. It is on the Switchblade, Jay White, and his challenger, Dean Ambrose. Jay White will be hoping that his contest here tonight goes better than it did against Ricochet, because quite frankly, Jay White fell for some pretty rookie tactics, I think the best way of saying it, against Ricochet and the Saviors on SmackDown Live. He just fell for the trap, he let it be sprung, he walked himself right into it, basically stuck his head into the trap and allowed himself to be defeated in such relative easy fashion. Dean Ambrose may well have watched that match and thought, I may well have a chance here tonight if that's the case. Ambrose looking to be dialed in and focused as ever, looking to claim that Intercontinental Championship back around his waist. I can't think of the last time Dean Ambrose was the Intercontinental Champion, or even held a title in this universe. It might well be the television title, and even then, that was many moons ago. Jay White, however, has been, well, 2019 has been basically made of gold for Jay White. Started the year as ECW television champion, and he only went about 2 months after losing that television title to holding that Intercontinental title. Jay White spent the majority of the year with gold around his waist or on his shoulder. Could that come to an end here tonight as we kick things off here at Fastlane? Crowd ready to go. Talent's ready to go. I'm certainly ready to go as well for what promises to be another immense night of action here. What will SmackDown Live bring to the table? We are about to find out. Intercontinental title on the line. Challenger and champion reigned in focused. Bell rings, and we are underway. Straight into a Karl level tie-up here between these two men. No grudges really in the title matches here tonight. It's all about just wanting to be the better athlete. It's all about wanting to be the better of the two. All about wanting to be champion really in those title matches. We're seeing that here tonight with this one. We'll be seeing it here tonight with the Women's Championship match. And of course with that incredible WWE Championship match that promises to come our way. Right now though, Dean Ambrose has the arm of Jay White here. Controlling it early on, maybe a little bit out of the realm here for Dean Ambrose. He's usually known for his fast-paced offense in the ring, getting into a more slower start against a kind of guy who would take an advantage really from this kind of slow start. Jay White definitely a guy who enjoys a more, not really more of a plodding pace, more of a methodical pace where he can sort of plan out what he's going to do next, how he's looking to execute it. No trouble. His opponent could well be in. Jay White though finds an opening, starts to open up with some chops. Ambrose comes up with the counter here and some short rights coming in from Ambrose now. And gaining the respect of the crowd as well. These two men maybe past the feeling out process now. And to work on one another they will go. Grazing the elbows there across the face of Jay White. And now the boot run in the chest there from Ambrose, who's looking to take the early lead here. Look out now. Big sidewalk slam. Cover is made from Dean Ambrose, looking to put away Jay White here early on, looking to claim the Intercontinental title. Shoulder is up at the count of 2, however. Yeah, I mean, it's an age-old question, but it's a question that has to be asked here tonight. What do these guys have to do to beat the other? What does White have to do to overcome the lunatic fringe? What does Dean Ambrose have to do to take the title away from a man who's been holding on to that belt for some time and getting rather comfortable with it? Suppose we are going to find out here tonight. Look out now. Jay White in. Stump puller here, locked in on Dean Ambrose. Has it applied here. Ambrose not going to tap out, but definitely wearing down Ambrose early on, who rolls his way out. Comes in with a crossbody and opening up here with some shots on the jaw and the chest, I believe that was, of Jay White, who didn't even make an attempt really to cover them up. Get in with that backbreaker. Ambrose getting the better of the starts out of the two, if you had to ask me. Jay White just trying to keep up really, and he is making though a good name out of those huge knife edge chops, and he lifts a knee up there, taking Ambrose off his feet, and Ambrose in turn deciding to try and roll to the outside here to catch a quick recovery. Hard elbow in the face from Ambrose. He's going to take things up to the top rope. This is where he strikes at his highest. In he came with the missile drop kick. Ambrose comes in with a cover, looking to capture the Intercontinental title again. Wow. Jay White basically saying it's a long road to go if you want to take that title from me. Getting the shoulder up very early indeed. Headlock driver from Ambrose. The old iteration of the dirty deeds. But now instead reverts it into a chin lock. Just continue to try and wear down Jay White. White moves out of the way, however. He cannot capitalize on the looks of things. Bit of a stalemate in that Colorado tie-up. Ambrose in now. Back suplex, and White hits the mat. Nothing fancy, nothing flashy, just simple and effective offense right there and then from the challenger. Big right hand counter, hard left came in there from Jay White, and now White really needs to get some offense going in his own right here if he wants to leave Green Bay with that Intercontinental title still around his waist. Look out, back suplex, great counter from Ambrose, rolled his way out of it, and a massive lariat takes White off his feet. Forearm shots now from Ambrose coming in. White unable to stay up on a vertical basis. It's all Dean Ambrose right now. There's no denying that. White being thrown to the outside here. Ambrose lining things up. He's the lunatic fringe for a reason, and the lunatic will fly. A huge risk taken from Ambrose. Could it lead him to Intercontinental title glory? White basically out on his feet on the outside. Ambrose rolls them in. Ambrose hooks the leg. Cover is made. Do we have a new Intercontinental Champion? It's not quite. It's a kick out of 2. Ambrose either can't believe it or doesn't want to believe that White just kicked out of 2 out of that suicide dive, where the impact as well for Jay White came into that barricade. Look out. Cobra clutch suplex from the Switchblade. Right down on his head and his neck. Cover made. Dean Ambrose is still in it, however. This match really picked up there off that suicide dive. Really kicked itself up a notch, but Jay White is looking to kick the fight underneath Dean Ambrose's legs. Blade Runner! Jay White covers Ambrose. Is it over? 3-0! Maybe searching for the end too soon, and that was his untimely mistake. Look at these chops though from Jay White. Ambrose may be wearing a wife beater, but I'm sure that chest is being beaten over and over again. There's going to be marks on that chest, win or lose here for Dean Ambrose. He may well have taken the Blade Runner, but he ain't staying down. Riling himself up here. Here goes Ambrose. Forearm. And another one. The lunatic riling himself up. Windmilling that forearm in before the Bulldog. When Ambrose gets going, he is so dangerous to stop, but Jay White doing all that he can to try and stay on level pegging with Dean Ambrose. Maybe out of his element in the process. Kiwi Crusher from White. Cover is made. Is it over? It's a kick out at 1. A lot of standing and trading in this match between these guys. They have just been letting their fists, and in Jay White's case, those chops fly and do their own havoc. Neckbreaker there from Ambrose. Ambrose in now. Ambrose searching for the DDT. Oh, White read it. White saw it incoming and got the counter. A crucial counter to this match for Jay White. Ambrose far from done though. Comes in with a Uranagi slam. Look out. Saito suplex. Look down in his head and neck. Damaging offense. Ambrose, of course, has already looked for that Dirty Deeds and missed it, but that doesn't mean that the door is closed for Dean Ambrose in terms of winning this contest and leaving with that Intercontinental title back around his waist for the first time in a long time. Headlock punch there, but Ambrose feeling maybe the fatigue of this title match. Took him a little while there to get back up to his feet. Back suplex, face buster, covers made. Is it over? Not quite. Both guys delivering big time here in this, our opening contest of the evening. In the turnbuckle goes the champion. Comes up with the counter, however, to Ambrose. Uh-oh. Precarious position to find yourself in. And Ambrose knows it, but he gets himself out of trouble there. White couldn't capitalize quick enough. Shot on lariat there. And White will roll to the outside here, trying to create some separation between the two. Ambrose taking a moment to recover, but he's not going to let it be that easy for Jay White. Out on the apron, incoming! Oh! Crash and burn from the apron to the mat for Dean Ambrose. Back in the ring we get now. Jay White stopping Ambrose in his tracks and seeking to take control from there. Can't capitalize, however. Ambrose keeps going. Ambrose opening up. Right hands. White trying to cover up to the best of his abilities. Ambrose now. Could he be just a few moves away from that Intercontinental title? Top rope. Misses with the elbow drop. No one home. Jay White moved out of the way. White in. Blade Runner. Jay White saw the chance, hooks the leg, and retains. One slight opening was all it took, and the Switchblade cut his way to victory. Blade Runner triggered, and the Switchblade does it again. Jay White still your Intercontinental title as things get going here at Fastlane. Dean Ambrose cutting a pretty dejected figure here. I wonder what's in the mind of Ambrose. Well, Ambrose seemingly frustrated with the loss here this evening. I'm not saying it's goodbye, but that he needs to go back to the drawing board and he needs to find himself again. Dean Ambrose, it seems, taking a leave of absence in his own right as he looks to find what makes him, whatever the hell that may be. Well, certainly an interesting way to get us going here on this show, and now the chaos will ensue. Hardcore match coming our way, Extreme Rules, whatever you want to call it, the same difference applies. It is going to be no DQs, no countouts, all chaos, all destruction, and all insanity. Eric Young against the Machine, Brian Cage. And there is his undoing factor. He is on his own. Eric Young making his way out this evening with no one to accompany him. Paint the picture for you. It was SmackDown Live some moons ago now. It was Eric Young and Jason Jordan in a no disqualification contest as they were tearing it down with one another. Along came the Machine. Brian Cage arrived to SmackDown Live, the former NXT champion, one of the most dominant forces we have ever seen in this universe arrive, and he took both men out in the blink of an eye. The next week, he took out Sin Cara. Eric Young tried to get the one up there on Cage, trying to get the return payback really on Cage for taking him out, and he got taken out again. The match was made official from that point on between these two men at Fastlane, and from that point on, even before then, Eric Young, every time he sees Brian Cage, except for this past edition of SmackDown Live, has been thrown around by Brian Cage. 2 weeks ago, he became ready. He stood at ringside waiting for Cage to show up. And he did show up with a steel chair and drilled it into Eric Young's head. Eric Young believes he is stupid enough to believe, maybe. He is that far gone in his head to believe that he could actually stand up to the man who has taken out so many names in this universe and has beaten some of the very best in this universe as well. Tyler Bate, we know him as a world beater on ECW. We know him as the man who dethroned Corin in NXT. This guy walked all over him like he was nothing. He walked all over Jeff Cobb. He's walked all over Tomohiro Ishii. He's walked over some of the biggest and baddest fighters there are. And Brian Cage makes a living out of it, and he enjoys every minute of it. He has never been pinned. He has never been submitted. He lost his NXT Championship at Brooklyn, but he wasn't involved in the final decision, and he practically won the match. But he didn't get the final four, but he wasn't pinned, and I don't think, to be fair, anyone on that NXT roster could pin Brian Cage. That's not meant as disrespect to the NXT roster. That's meant to promote and to show just what the hell Brian Cage is. I have said this more than once on commentary now. The Machine is the closest we have ever gotten to a second incarnation of Brock Lesnar. And we are going to see that demonstrated here tonight, and the use of weaponry. Eric Young is in for a rough, but potentially, hopefully, short evening. Eric Young going under the apron already, and Brian Cage just standing in the ring as if to say, bring all of your tat. Bring it all to the ring. It doesn't make a difference. Young tries to swing early on. What, do you think Brian Cage is going to let him have a free swing on him? Cage isn't that charitable. He throws Eric Young back over the top rope. And he backs away here, as if to say, try again. Get some more. Let's get some more in this ring. And Eric Young is more than okay to take him up on that as well. Young looking under that apron again. So much under there. And he's found a table. He has found a table and he brings it into the ring, but he ain't done. And Brian Cage isn't exactly setting up at the home decor either. He is just standing back and letting it happen. Kendo stick in the ring, and Cage brings it into the gut of Eric Young. No Killian Dane, no Damian Priest, but a kendo stick coming down on Eric Young. Uh-oh. Brian Cage has a table. That is a sentence that you never want to hear spoken. Eric Young, though, coming in with some shots here. Young found his opening, and a good flurry of shots. Takes the machine off his feet. The only time I've ever really seen Brian Cage tested was back in Chicago before Money in the Bank when he took on Jeff Cobb. In that match, he bled. He showed that the machine does bleed, that he is human. Well, at least a part of him is. And he still won that match in fairly convincing fashion as Eric Young comes down to the steel chair. That was a man who physically is as close to Brian Cage, I believe, out of anyone there on that NXT brand. And he still got convincingly beaten. Add weapons to the mix, and what the hell is going to come the way of Eric Young here? Oh, Young comes up with the counter, sends the chair to the head of Brian Cage from behind. Look at the strength there of Eric Young. Brian Cage is about 280 easily. And Eric Young with a German suplex there. Well, Young maybe has been training, but Brian Cage, even when he's not training, is still more powerful, is still more destructive, and is still more likely to get a win than about 4 versions of Eric Young. Oh, the knees are up though. Cage's ribs meet knees, but how much that take out of the knees of Eric Young? Clearly not that much. Kendo stick coming in here. Into the gut of Cage. Eric Young waiting for Cage to get up to his feet. Cage was out of the way. In the ribs again. Young sees the opening, and he keeps swinging, but Cage isn't defending it. Cage is almost saying, go for it. Swing. Swing for the fences. Break a rib, I dare you. Oh, no. Well, Brian Cage might well break some ribs of Eric Young here. Look at the strength. And down to the kendo stick as well. God, he makes it look so easy. Well, to Brian Cage, this is easy. That's why. It just comes so naturally to the machine. He's the machine in more than just a name. He runs like a well-oiled machine. He runs like a cog in this ring. He's ever so dangerous in this ring as well. Look out now. Brian Cage setting that table up in a more appropriate position for himself. Deciding this is the best course of action. The last time you set someone through a table, Cage, you retired them. And the same can be said for Eric Young. Through the table he goes. Hang on, hang on. Here comes Sanity. Here comes Sanity. Young has backup, because here comes Dane. Here comes Dane, and now Cage is there to meet them. Dane and Priest made their way out. Priest hasn't moved a muscle. He's scared stiff. Drill claw into the floor, and Priest just walks out. He wants nothing to do with Cage. Meanwhile in the ring, Eric Young. Young got up to his feet. Dane is incapacitated on the outside. And Priest has just got the hell out of here. Oh, this is the beginning of the end for Eric Young. Damian Priest receiving brief medical treatment at ringside. And I think there might want to be some for Eric Young in the ring. Damian Priest gets away scot-free. But the Weapon X is unleashed on Eric Young. The leg is hooked. Brian Cage just ran through Sanity. The smartest man in this whole match was Damian Priest. He saw Brian Cage and he left because he didn't want to end things the same way that Killian Dane and Eric Young just did. Did Priest fight for the cause? No. Did he fall to the cause? No. Did the machine just run through all the chaos of Sanity? Yes. Did he make it look easy? Yes. Brian Cage is lethal. Oh, man. Already, so much destruction has been left in the wake of Brian Cage, but now, one of the most unexpected grudges to be settled here tonight, as Kevin Owens goes one-on-one against Mojo Rawley. Kevin Owens had a mysterious attacker 1 week come down on him, and we were left speculating who the hell it was. It ended up being, of all people, Mojo Rawley. And Mojo, for weeks and weeks on end, kept this onslaught on Kevin Owens going and going, kept on beating him down at every opportunity he got. Until a few weeks back on SmackDown Live, it was all explained. Mojo fighting on behalf of a friend that Kevin Owens got on the wrong side of. Kevin Owens said, "That's fine, I've got on the wrong side of many people in my tenure. I am not alone. I have my own friend," and you see him in the background, Sami Zayn, returning to SmackDown Live, coming to the aid of Kevin Owens. The match was made official that evening, but we are left speculating what the hell and who the hell is Mojo's friend that he is standing up for. At first I thought it was just a bit of hubbub, really, that Mojo was just making something up. But that wasn't the case. We saw it on SmackDown Live. The guy, whoever it was, jumped Kevin Owens, hitting a running knee and getting the hell out of there before Mojo Rawley picked up a huge upset win over Sami Zayn in the midst of that distraction. Well, there's no friend here this evening for Mojo, so whoever it may be hasn't made their way out here, and I think I know why. I think it's because Zayn and Owens would be going right for that guy. But Mojo here tonight, he has been getting under the skin. He has been almost under the fingernails of Kevin Owens. He has been everywhere where Kevin Owens has gone, so much to the point that Kevin Owens spent 2 weeks on SmackDown Live roaming the backstage area trying to find him. Well, now he gets his hands on him here tonight, and he has been waiting a long, long time for this. Kevin Owens gets his retribution here tonight, and Mojo Rawley could be in for a big, heaping pain of trouble. Look at these right hands just unloading here on Mojo in the turnbuckle now. Oh, Mojo moves out of the way though. Mojo Rawley, don't let the way he's been perceived as of late distract you from the fact that this guy is incredibly tall, incredibly strong, and may have some untapped potential that we didn't know of before. I never would have thought that I would have seen Mojo Rawley on a pay-per-view, but here he is, and here he is as well, coming in, having got under the skin of a 4-time WWE champion. Kevin Owens, though, isn't going to let that sit well within him. Friend or not, he doesn't care who it is he's got on the wrong side of. Mojo Rawley's got on the wrong side of Kevin Owens, and he is looking to make him pay this evening. Torture rack neck breaker, but Mojo gets the shoulder up in time. Just keeping my eyes peeled around the arena right now, trying to see if that masked assailant, that friend that Mojo Rawley was discussing, will make his way out here tonight. What a DDT there from Owens, using the top turnbuckle pad to spike the head of Mojo into the mat, but only gets the count of 2. Nothing I can see right now. Anyway, the matchup will continue on here, and Kevin Owens will remain in control right now. Mojo Rawley may have bitten off more than he could chew here. He has incensed Kevin Owens with vitriol and rage, and he could be about to pay for it. This may be the one and only time we see Mojo Rawley on pay-per-view, because Kevin Owens might be about to send Mojo back wherever the hell he came from. Big right hands here from Mojo incoming. Look out. Mojo on the rebound now. Yeah, the Green Bay aren't a big fan of Mojo Rawley, that's for certain. They definitely want to see Kevin Owens leave with the win here tonight. Look out. Big splash from Mojo. Here's that athleticism that I was talking about prior. Don't let this grudge distract you that Mojo can execute almost anything in that ring. Athleticism right into power. Twisting full Nelson slam, and it's a kick out of 2. Mojo Rawley, though, is just turning things around really quick, and all of a sudden the match is now in the palm of his hands. Face first into the mat goes Owens in that suplex position. Owens reeling here. Had steel chair shots from Mojo from behind to the face. He's been laid out in the parking lot by him. And now, in this ring, Mojo is showing that he didn't need the backstage attacks. He didn't need the weapons. Because he can take it to Kevin Owens by himself. Owens saw a brief opening there, but quickly the door was shut on him. Mojo Rawley once again going to work, and he comes in with that splash again. Look at how quickly he covers corner to corner. Those double splashes come in, and he charges into Kevin Owens there and takes him down. Sami Zayn, a non-factor in this match, and now right in front of Zayn, Mojo setting up discus punch. That may have knocked all sense out of Kevin Owens. Has Mojo Rawley stood up for this close friend of his? The kick out is a 2. And still, no sight of whoever this person is. It could be in the crowd in all fairness, but I think I'd be able to see the mask. Unless they've changed their attire here tonight, I don't know. But what I do know is that Kevin Owens... Oh! I was about to say that Kevin Owens is coming back into this, but what a counter from Mojo there. What speed to counter, and then bringing his weight down across the back of Kevin Owens. I did not expect Owens to be struggling this much. Maybe we all underestimated Mojo heading into this contest here this evening. I was discussing the power and the athleticism of Mojo Rawley, but even then you step into the ring with one of the SmackDown's all-time greats in Kevin Owens. Owens now sends him into the turnbuckle, opening up with right hands here. The victory off of Kevin Owens being explored. Cannibal Center from Owens. Mojo might be done for here. Kevin Owens hooks the leg. Sami Zayn watching on. Is it all over? Owens not quite done yet. The shoulder up in time. But Owens will be looking to end things pretty soon here. Hard forearm shot. Look out, Cobra clutch slam. Looking to finish things off here. Kevin Owens has Mojo down and is looking to keep him there until this contest is over and done with. Kevin Owens might be on his way to finishing things here. Wait a minute! Ciampa! Tommaso Ciampa! He just stomped his way over the barricade. Fairy tale ending on Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens drops Mojo down. This is who. This is who Mojo was on about. This was the friend. This was the person that Mojo was standing up for. Tommaso Ciampa providing the distraction. And now, hyperdrive from Mojo Rawley. Zayn down at ringside. Owens down in the ring. Mojo Rawley just beat Kevin Owens. And it is all down to Tommaso Ciampa of all people. Mojo Rawley, Tommaso Ciampa. Who would have ever thought that that would have been the duo responsible for what we've seen here tonight? Rawley beats Owens. I'm still struggling to digest what we just saw a moment ago. I can't believe it. Kevin Owens had victory almost sealed, and then of all people to show up, along comes Tommaso Ciampa as the friend, as the person who Mojo Rawley was standing up for. Never did I think it was going to be that man, that Blackheart, but it certainly was. Zayn taken out, Owens taken out, Mojo Rawley just beat Kevin Owens. Let that sink in for as long as humanly possible. Well, folks, things might not be done there, but things have only just got started here. For this, our second title bout of the evening, it is Asuka versus Paige for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It is about being the best women's wrestler on SmackDown Live. And that is what both women want to be here. That's what both women want to be. They want to be that champion. Paige, of course, already has the SmackDown Women's title around her waist. Asuka would like to have it for herself. Not since WrestleMania has Asuka been a champion, losing the Raw Women's title on that evening to Ronda Rousey. She would quite like to reclaim her title here tonight and cement her legacy in this universe as one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, which she absolutely has done. No doubt about it. But her opponent is going to test her in every way, shape and form. That's why she is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Paige coming out here looking to make things happen. Looking to create a classic here between herself and Asuka. There's been a lot of discussions recently over who has the stronger women's division, be it SmackDown or Raw. And with all the chaos that we've seen these last 2 weeks, you have to give the edge to Monday Night Raw. However, could SmackDown Live's women's division produce a better contest? Well, that's what we're going to find out in just a moment's time. Paige ready and raring to go here. So too is Asuka on the outside. Last minute preparations from the Empress as the SmackDown Women's Champion soaks in the reaction here from Green Bay ahead of this title matchup. First time I think Paige has put the title on the line since winning it just before SummerSlam from Becky Lynch. She is looking and rearing to get things going here. It's been a little bit of trading respect, but also a little bit of getting into one another's head, and Asuka's certainly be doing a much better job of that than Paige has. Think back to, this past SmackDown Live, after they won the contest, they stared down, but I think the key moment to think of was a few weeks back on SmackDown Live when Asuka came out to save Paige from a potential attack from the Riot Squad and just stared her down. There was no thanks from Paige, there was no admiration, no handshake, it was just a stare down. Asuka came to the aid of Paige, whether she wanted it or not. But here tonight, we are about to find out. It's not about admiration, it's not about respect, it's about the desire to win and to be SmackDown Women's Champion. Who wants it more? That's what we're going to find out in just a moment's time. One title already defended successfully here tonight. Will it be 2 of 2 thus far this evening? We are about to find out as the referee lofts the title up in the air. It's Asuka and Paige, the SmackDown Women's title. Bell rings, and we are underway. Both women taking their time there. Coming out of their corner, and now the collar bow tight. We go right into it. Side headlock here by Asuka, takes down Paige. Paige has Asuka now. In the legs there, Asuka comes back with a nice countess. Back into that side headlock position. Paige now with the counter, standing side headlock switch here. Nice work there from the champion. Asuka, though, able to use her experience advantage. Push Paige off the ropes. Shirado! Over the knee goes Paige. It's something that we have to remember. Asuka, quite a few years advantage on Paige in ring. Paige with the youth advantage, shall we say, but Asuka with the experience advantage. Could experience overcome youth in this contest here? Michinoku driver from Asuka, but the shoulder is up very early indeed by Paige. And Asuka staying in control in this moment right now. Paige not really getting much of an opening here in this contest as Asuka goes to work. Counter made there by Paige, however. But this now. Forearms raining in. Do you really want to get into a striking contest with Asuka? I mean, Ronda Rousey didn't. She walked down the winning side of things, but that's Rousey. Paige, not really on the same level in terms of that offense as Ronda Rousey, but she made the most of it there. She knocked Asuka off her feet with that headbutt. Elbow, spinning back fists. The case in point there was the lack of maneuvering really from Asuka. She was just almost staying upright. Look out now, German suplex. What athleticism there from Paige as she flips her way free. Crucifix comes in now. Shoulders are down. Cover is made. Asuka kicks at it too. Almost but not quite on retaining the SmackDown Women's title there. But Paige staying on the offensive here, opening up on Asuka. She sees the opening and she's making the absolute most of it in this moment. Chinlock applied here, just wearing down Asuka, wearing down the head, maybe trying to soften it up for the Rampage DDT. I think you've got a better chance of pinning Asuka than you do tapping her out. Asuka's forearm there. Asuka goes down. Paige making the most of this contest right now. She's really doing a good job here. In the corner. Oh, what a knee in the face there from Paige. Asuka though almost shrugging it off and getting back to work right away. This time, she gets that German suplex. And maybe that could have been the opening that the Empress was looking for in this contest. Look at her, wind up a huge kick. Took too long. Paige was upright. She was very much so aware of what was happening and was able to counter there. Asuka now back on offense, however. In the corner we go. Oh! Running hip attack there from Asuka to a standing Paige. That's great athleticism from Asuka to make that leap. Knee dug into the face there. In the corner we go again. Look out here what'll happen now. Asuka looking for the kick in the chest. Paige counters, looking for the shoulder tackle there. Asuka counters, back and forth counters in the corner there. And Asuka gets in an open-handed strike, takes Paige off her feet and comes in with a hip attack again. Innovative offense as always from the Empress. Back suplex. Look at that athleticism from Paige. From behind. Tiger suplex now. Asuka folded up. Feeling the effect of it. And now look at this. Her head is almost touching her leg. That is not how the human body is supposed to bend. What a devastating submission hold here. Referee has a great eye on it. Asuka though not going to tap out. You know it's going to take so much to make Asuka tap. It took so much for Ronda Rousey to make her tap at WrestleMania. Look at that there from Asuka again, just digging that knee into the face, just doing what she can to make life easier for herself to win that SmackDown Women's Championship. Tiger suplex on Paige. What goes around comes around. Great bridge as well, but the shoulders up at 2. Close, but not quite there. But it could be about to be that quite. It could be about to be over here. Asuka lining it up, but the counter is made. Paige elbows her way free. German suplex, no. Asuka planning her weight into the mat. Great counter there and controls the arm after the fact as well. Great instinct there from Asuka to come up with that counter. Rocking forearm there. Paige barely able to stay up on her feet, but then Asuka takes her right off it. Things start to pick up here in this contest now. Asuka feeling a second wind coming along. She doesn't even need it, but she feels it. Clotheslines incoming. Oh! Paige came back with a devastating right hand of her own. Asuka drilled by it. Asuka back up to a vertical basis here, but it's Paige who's opening up with these strikes now. In the turnbuckle. Running knee again, but no one home. Asuka moves out of the way. Kick takes out the leg of Paige, and kicks will light up the chest of Paige now. And across the back of the head as well with one. Asuka, might she be on her way this evening? Spinning back fist is countered. Great counter for Paige. Slips in the opening. Paige Turner. Is that enough? No winning in the ropes. There's 2. There's 3. Oh, the shoulders are up in time. Asuka looked like kicked out with both shoulders there to prove the point that she got the shoulders up. Paige not able to put her away. Might Paige look for the submission? It's daring. It's risky. But with this move, it certainly could be effective. PTO is locked in. One of the most devastating submission holds I've ever seen. PTO is applied. Could Paige retain her SmackDown Women's title right here, right now? Asuka refusing to tap, refusing to admit submission. And Asuka breaks free. A submission expert finds her way out from the PTO. And her hopes are still alive. Big drop kick came in there from Asuka. In the turnbuckle. No, brings her back in. Paige almost saw an incoming though. Comes up with a jawbreaker counter. It's Paige now who has the Empress reeling. Discus forearm. Asuka tells her to stuff it. Great counter made. Look at this now by Asuka. Using her kicks as a lethal weapon. And a damn good one at that, as well as she opened up with all those shots the cover has made. The kick out is made as well though. Job not quite finished yet. But Asuka is certainly sensing that the end could be on its way. Look out, running hip attack. Takes Paige down. Asuka hooks the leg. Is it all said and done? Is it all over this evening? Oh, the shoulder's up in time. Again, Asuka thought he was over and done with. But again, the shoulder's up. But this time, it's not the shoulder that's needed for victory. It's the arm. Tapping into the mat. Asuka lock. This time, she got all of it. This time, Asuka has it stitched in. Could Paige tap? She's nowhere near the ropes. The champ is in huge trouble. Asuka has it locked in deep. Could it be? Could it be for Asuka? Could she be SmackDown Women's Champion here? Paige is gonna break it. Asuka broke the PTO. Paige breaks the Asuka lock. Incredible fight from these two women. And Paige sees the opening. Fisherman suplex there. Didn't go for the cover. Might not have had enough in it to look for it. But she's staying on offense here. Big back elbow. Rocking Asuka up against the ropes. And the fight may have faded in the Empress, but how much fight is there left in Paige? These two women exhausting one another for victory. Look out now with the arm in control here. Asuka though, fighting her way out, powering her way out. Asuka never gives in. She fights until the bitter end, and she keeps on fighting here. Michinoku Triangle will come in again. Now it all comes down to who wants it more. Who's got that final bit of heart and fight in them? Who can get that last big move in? Be it the PTO, the Asuka lock, a flurry of kicks, whatever it may be to keep your opponent down. And right now, it looks like Asuka may have it more than Paige. Paige counters though. Super kick again. Rocks Asuka. Easily takes her off her feet. Could we be about to find ourselves in a dangerous situation? Asuka counters, lines up that kick at this time. Paige too exhausted to cover up. Asuka wound it up and she kicked hard. Using the ropes for assistance to hit. That suplex there. Asuka in now, spinning kick in the gut, and again the hip attack. That could be enough, but Asuka senses it. Asuka senses the end is on its way. She's looking for the Asuka lock one more time, and again, Paige breaks it. Paige counters it. A huge counter made by Paige. German suplex for the champion as well. Asuka may have just gone for one final move, and all the fight was taken out of her. Rampage DDT. Asuka's final force was taken out of her. Paige's final flurry, connected flush, cover made. Paige retains. And what a match to retain in as well. Your move in the Raw Women's Division, because SmackDown just amplified the game with one hell of a title matchup. But Paige holds on to the gold once more on this evening. Paige conquered the Empress. But now it is time to see who will conquer the other. Former brothers turn rivals. Ricochet, Ibushi, the rivalry to be settled here tonight. And what a rivalry it is to settle as well. Cast your mind all the way back to WrestleMania when Ibushi took on Finn Bálor for the Intercontinental title. Ibushi took the demon to the limit. He was on the verge of becoming Intercontinental champion when along came Ricochet, the man who we thought was by the side of Ibushi all along, came into the ring and laid him out and walked out on him, allowing victory to go the way of Bálor. They met the next month at Backlash, with Ricochet with a completely different mindset to himself, calling himself the savior of SmackDown Live, saying he was hoping to cleanse Kota Ibushi. And on that evening, the saviors were formed, taking out Kota Ibushi, Ricochet, Drew Gulak, and Roderick Strong. From then on, Ricochet, it seemed as if he had left Ibushi in the dirt, he had left him in the past, because he was focused on the Intercontinental title. At SummerSlam, he locked himself in the ring with a switchblade. And Ibushi returned to the fanfare, taking out the saviors and distracting Ricochet long enough for White to retain. From that week on, they were on a collision course. Ibushi wanted to keep Ricochet out of his business. He said he wanted to close the chapter. Ricochet didn't agree. He said he would cleanse him, whether Ibushi wanted it or not. And we reached this evening. Ibushi challenged Ricochet to the match at Fastlane, and Ricochet accepted on one condition: if he beat this man right here, if he defeated the Golden Star, Kota Ibushi would have to cave in to the ways of Ricochet. He would have to join the Saviors. And that is what is all on the line here tonight. No Saviors at ringside, no Strong, no Gulak. Finally, this score will be settled. The Golden Star in his first big match since WrestleMania. He knows what's in front of him. He knows he has to make it count. He knows he has to put away Ricochet this evening. These two men might be fantastic athletes, but make no mistake about it, they can't stand one another. Not for a second. The bell rings and we are underway. Well, we would hope, if we had seen this matchup before, to be an absolutely excellent match between two exquisite competitors, is instead a grudge match based in betrayal, heartbreak. Look at this, these two men, they're waiting to throw shots at one another, getting right in the faces of one another. And Ricochet will look to go in first. Ibushi swats him away here. And here we go now. This is underway. Ibushi opening up with the kicks first. He's looking to unload away on Ricochet first. Ricochet will come back. Don't expect any feeling out process. These two men know each other so well. They called one another brothers at one point. All that is out the window now. Ricochet still believes. Look at this man. The confidence that exuberates from him as he calls himself the savior of SmackDown Live. The savior for what reason we don't know. Ricochet's never explained why he believes himself to be the savior, why he says he will cleanse the people around him. He just calls himself that. He has been this way since WrestleMania, and he is still yet to explain his mannerisms, his wording. What I do know is that Ibushi doesn't need an explanation here tonight to go after Ricochet, to seek blood from Ricochet, because he has every reason to desire it. I will say I will respect the decision from Ricochet to leave the Saviors out of this. This is between these two men, and we are finally going to get our conclusion to this matchup, to this bout here this evening. Ricochet on the apron. Ibushi moves out of the way. Ricochet up to his feet, but oh! Dumped on the floor on the outside with a German suplex. That is devastating. Oh, it's not going to get any better for him either. It's not going to get any better either. Look at this. Has him up here. Is he going to drill him into the stairs maybe? No. Ricochet fights his way free. Think about what this match means to both men. For Ibushi, this win It closes this chapter of his saga. It closes the book on Future Shock. He can leave Ricochet behind, which is what he wanted after SummerSlam. And he might be about to get it here. Ricochet gets the shoulder up right away. But defeat for Ibushi and victory for Ricochet. What a difference that'll make to Kota Ibushi. What the hell will that do to the Saviors? With Ibushi under the beck and call of Ricochet. Well, he's looking to do everything that he can to make sure that isn't the case here tonight. Corkscrew moonsault. It's only good for 2. But Ibushi is still focused. He's still on the money right now. He is still taking the offense to Ricochet this evening. But the savior of SmackDown Live comes up with the counter there. Oh no. Oh no. The Golden Star's in trouble. Ricochet knows what to seek, and he make it look so easy as well. Ricochet coming in off of that back of that previously discussed victory over Jay White. I said on that evening, oh, Snake Eyes into the barricade. I said on that evening, though, that he wouldn't be able to get a win like that at Fastlane because there'll be no saviors at ringside to help him out. But Ricochet proving in this moment he doesn't need the saviors to help him win. He can do it by himself. Well, the fact as well that makes Ricochet so dangerous is that save yourself cutter that he has broken out in his arsenal. No one is kicked out of that move yet. Not Dolph Ziggler, not Kevin Owens. That's a combined 7 world titles between those guys, and both of those have fallen to the save yourself. If Ibushi has to endure it here tonight, could he be added to the list? What a counter made there by Ibushi. And it doesn't look like he's done right now. Ricochet in trouble. Look at the strike. German suplex. Ricochet makes it look like he's just been lugged around because Ibushi made it look so easy. The kick's coming in now after the palm strikes. Ibushi is fired up here tonight. This is Ibushi's first real match since Backlash, and he's showing no signs of ring rust whatsoever this evening. Injury or not that kept him out for so long, Kota Ibushi certainly not missing a step here in this contest thus far. Big uppercut though from Ricochet, rocking him, looks for the super kick. Ibushi ducked under, Ibushi incoming, power bomb, no, might have been looking for the last ride. Ricochet countered it, rolls his way over, Ricochet, sunset flip, that could have done it there. On the flip side of the save yourself, the Ricochet might endure the Kamigoye here this evening, and if Ibushi nails that, then you might believe this is over, and it's closure for the Golden Star, but right now, a big boot comes in across the face of Ibushi. Action-packed match already. And you feel it ain't over. Phoenix Splash incoming. Trying to take a move. Ibushi has made one of his very own. Ibushi countered it though. Half and half suplex there. Takes Ricochet off his feet. Look out now. Look out here, in trouble, breaks the dragon suplex, but he still has to endure a straight jacket German. Ibushi thinking on his feet, and now he'll be thinking way up in the air. Ibushi to the top rope. Ibushi, Phoenix Splash. That's how you execute it, Ricochet. And that could be what gives Ibushi his closure. Could he finally topple Ricochet this evening? Oh, the shoulders up in time. Ibushi hoped that would be it for him. High kick though. Could he be setting up to the Kamigoye? Could he be looking to finish off Ricochet this evening? Could he be that bit closer to finishing it all? Straight jacket German, bridges, feet planted into the mat. This could do it. Oh, the shoulders up in time. Ibushi can't believe it. Look at this though. Ricochet, he's still fighting on, but my goodness, is he on the back foot right here, right now? Or maybe I spoke too soon. Ricochet comes in with the counter there, big jawbreaker. And Ricochet in from behind. Lifting reverse suplex. Cover made. Leg is hooked. Is it all over? Oh, the shoulders up in time as well from Ibushi. Trading near falls there. To the apron now. Ricochet springboard 450. He's made himself a bit more grounded in his offense, but he's still able to break out these moves like anyone can do it. Phoenix Splash in the second row. Takes the move of Ibushi and almost beat him with it. Ricochet as devastating as ever with his high-flying offense, but his ground game has become so much better as well. Look at this. Look at how easy he makes this look from out of his sides. This is simply incredible. Deadlift, gut wrench, power bomb, but wow. Ibushi gets the shoulder up at 1. What a match so far. You can feel the hatred. You can feel the animosity in this matchup. Every time they hit a move on one another, they're putting everything into it. And the Golden Star will shine bright as he flies. Ibushi putting it all on the line. And Green Bay is right. What a match this is. What a fight this is. What hatred they have for one another. Who will get the closing win? And is it about to be Kota Ibushi? He covers Ricochet. He hooks the leg. Is it all said and done here? Oh, the shoulders up in time. And the reaction on the face of Ibushi tells it all. He wishes that was it. But it ain't the case. It's still going on here. The kicks lighting up Ricochet again. But has the fight faded, and the savior of SmackDown Live is the Golden Star, 1 or 2 moves away from the Kamigoye. Pele kick from Ibushi. But somehow, some way, Ricochet still fights on. Poison Rana this evening. What a move from Ricochet as he goes to the top rope once again here. Ricochet, blast from the past, 630. We haven't seen that since he's been calling himself the savior of SmackDown Live. 630 from Ricochet. He covers. Is it the final blow? There's 2. There's 3 now. Ibushi was about a quarter of a second away from joining the Saviors. And Ricochet now. Ibushi gives up his back, but the dropkick comes in. The very dropkick that Ricochet connected with at WrestleMania to the back of Ibushi when he stabbed him in the back there, but it hasn't kept Ibushi down. It's lit a fire in here. Oh, looks for a back exploder. Cannon made from Ricochet. The hell? What the hell is this? Oh, what a stretching the body of Ricochet, of Ibushi, chicken winging him, and then bending that neck in an inhumane fashion. Downward spiral. But look at Ibushi. Are you kidding me? Ibushi right up to his feet. He knows how much this means to both men. Ricochet dodges the pop-up drop kick, but Ibushi's head, Pele. God damn, what a match. These two guys hate one another, but they will keep on fighting until one falls. Ibushi looked for the opening. Ricochet countered. Huge drop kick from the savior of SmackDown Live. Gulak and Strong must be watching wherever they are with bated breath, seeing how close Ricochet has come to losing this match on more than one occasion. Ricochet, though, on the top rope now, looking for the perfect opportunity, and he comes, Hurricanrana from up high. And there's blood. I said there'd be blood in this match, and there is blood. It's blood from Ibushi. Ricochet busted open Ibushi. Huge lion salt there. Downward spiral. The fight is faded. The golden star is fading. Ricochet, are you kidding me? Kamigoye! Kamigoye to Ibushi. The ultimate act of disrespect. Ibushi put it all on the line. And Ricochet's doing it. Ricochet lighting him up here. Is this gonna happen? Ricochet, save yourself. The fight seemingly disappeared in Kota Ibushi. Ricochet hits the save yourself. He hooks the leg. Kota Ibushi has to join the saviors. Ricochet just cleansed Ibushi. The savior of SmackDown Live has done it. Ibushi sought out revenge. He sought to close this chapter of his career. Ricochet just writ a new page in this chapter. He just put pen to paper. And he just cleansed Ibushi, who now joins the saviors. Matt Riddle and HBK there, nice to see them align with one another for the first time in a long time, but no idea what was being spoken back there regardless of it. Moving on to you this evening, a dream match up next for the WWE Championship. CM Punk, Kazuchika Okada. Well, the bar has been set incredibly high here for these two men based off the match we just saw a moment ago. And these two men may well be about to break it, because these are two of the best, not only in this world, but of all time. I think that would be more than a safe estimation to make. And they make their way out here this evening, looking for victory over the other. Both these men have been caught up in the controversy surrounding the originals and Finn Bálor, but it has led them to this evening regardless. CM Punk with a triple threat match to become the #1 contender. Okada made his way out just moments after, congratulating Punk on the victory, promising it to be a dream match that everyone will remember. This WWE Championship, there's been no disrespect from either side. There's been no getting under one another's skin. They both know this is a dream match. They both know how big of a contest this is. But they both know as well that they want to be WWE Champion more than anything else. The only real, if you want to call it disrespect, that we saw was on SmackDown Live this past week when Punk and Okada bumped into one another by chance in the locker room. They discussed the match at Fastlane. They wished each other the best of luck, and Okada said, "We disagree on who's going to win. That doesn't change the fact that we're going to put on a match that everyone will remember." These two guys, they know how good they are. They may well be a bit subtle about it. Well, maybe Okada, not so much. He goes on calling himself the Rainmaker, but the fact still remains, these guys know how good they are in that ring. And all they want to do is prove it to one another. All they want to do is show who the better man, who the better wrestler, and who the better champion is. And if Okada wants to cement his reign as one of the best WWE champions of all time, what better way to do it than against the man who has held more world titles in this universe than anyone else. Kevin Owens has 4 WWE titles. CM Punk has 5 world titles. Kazuchika Okada in his second reign with that belt. But the key fact for Okada is, this is in many ways uncharted waters for Okada. By this time last year, the Rainmaker found himself on his decline. It was this time last year, at this very pay-per-view event, where Shinsuke Nakamura turned on Kazuchika Okada. It was this time, I believe, just over a year ago now, where Shinsuke Nakamura beat Kazuchika Okada. But a year has passed, and Okada reborn at WrestleMania has been unstoppable from that day on. All who have come in his way have fallen. Marty Scurll, AJ Styles, Bobby Fish, with the next name on that list be CM Punk, as Kazuchika Okada certifies himself as one of the greatest WWE champions, certainly of this era, maybe of them all. Okada, Punk, there needs be no disrespect, there needs be no firing up of either side. There just needs to be that adoration of one another, that mutual respect, and that dream of creating a dream match for everyone to remember. Green Bay with very positive receptions to both guys ahead of our final title match of the evening here at Fastlane. 2 for 2 on titles, staying around the champion's waists. Could Punk be about to claim World Championship number 6 here? Could he be about to continue making his own history? Or will the WWE Champion continue to cement his legacy, continue to extend this reign as WWE Champion? Could Kazuchika Okada get one step closer to that long-standing record from Bobby Fish? We would certainly hope for it to be that way. Okada focused and as ready as ever. He'll hand the title over to the referee here, maybe for the final time. Two absolute greats collide. Respect they have for one another, but when that bell rings, it's all about who wants it more and who is the better of the two. CM Punk, Kazuchika Okada, WWE Championship on the line. Bell rings, here we go. And these two men and the crowd well aware they're not going to go guns blazing from the start. Ever watched an Okada match? He doesn't go about things that way for the most part. He waits. He bides his time. He's not a methodical wrestler. He's an effective wrestler. He sort of builds himself up to that crescendo. Punk will do much of the same as well to try and beat him here this evening. So these guys, you know, they wrestle some kind of similar style, so it's going to be all about who's better at that style than the other. No winner there in that collar elbow tie-up. Now the taller Okada will back Punk up to the turnbuckle here. We're going to get a clean break from these two men. We most certainly will. Great respect there. Crowd cheering it, applauding it as well. Here we go, middle of the ring again. A little tie-up once more. Okada with the go behind here. Can he take advantage from this position? Taller than Punk. Both men around the same weight as one another. Maybe a slight weight advantage for Okada. Punk there counters, but he can't capitalize on it. Maybe didn't have a good position there on Okada. But facelock there, gets in that knee in the face, and now here come the kicks from CM Punk. And he gets in a couple, though. No, wait, he's going after the leg of Okada right away there. He has about, if I had to guess, Okada maybe about 4 or 5 inches taller. At best, maybe 10 pounds heavier. It's the reach advantage where Okada will have any kind of advantage really over Punk is the reach. The weight is more or less the same. The height is what leads into that reach advantage really. So Punk may want to try and keep this bout close really, and Okada may want to keep it a little bit further away. I'm not really too sure how they'll try and fight this one. Okada can hit from anywhere, especially with that dangerous drop kick of his. Uppercut there. Came the Rainmaker. Let's see what will happen here. Okada already had so many classic bouts this year. With Shinsuke Nakamura, with Corin, with Brock Lesnar, with Bobby Fish, and I think he's about to be on the cusp of having another one as well. One of the most consistently must-see talents in this universe because of the quality of matches he puts on. Every time Okada steps in the ring, no matter the opponent, you know it's a special attraction because of how incredibly gifted that man is in that ring. Great open-handed strikes there from Okada. Backs him up to the ropes, looking for the drop kick, and Punk swatted it away. Chop in the chest there by Punk, nicely done. Look out now. Using the ropes maybe. No, he'll just dump Okada down on them. Thinking maybe he might use it for a Falcon Arrow there. wasn't the case. Punk just bringing him down. And now, in with a nice snap suplex there, taking the Rainmaker a little bit off guard. Now the guy giving the other an inch here. They know how bad they want it. They know they can't really afford to give one another an inch, because if they do, their opponent might slip in, hit their finishing move, and leave with victory. Great counter, that suplex from Okada. And what a DDT that follows up. We're not going to be seeing the 630s that we saw, the deadlift German suplexes that we saw, the outstanding feats of athleticism that we just saw from Ricochet and Ibushi. It's a different kind of match. This is a real, a real wrestling match between these two men. Shamrock here applied. Nice STF position as well from Kazuchika Okada. But Punk breaks out of it with a good back elbow there from behind now. Schoolboy countered. Double underhook DDT there from Punk. Nicely done indeed from the 5-time world champion. Leg is hooked. Does he have Okada beat here this evening? Oh, he almost had world title number 6 right then and there. Punk, here we go, looking in for the suplex. Gets a Falcon Arrow. Good work there. And Punk, is he already looking? Is he already trying to knock on the door of that 6th world title? Up on the shoulders. GTS, no. Okada knew it was incoming. Way too early. 10 minutes too early, if you ask me, to even be hoping, to even be looking for such a move. Okada will make him pay now. Air raid, crash neck breaker. And Okada going to work. Effective, devastating, and significant strikes from Okada in this contest. Knee dug into the back of Punk now. Look out here, crossing the arms over, hooking the hands in as well, making it even harder for Okada, for Punk, to break the hold, and for him to breathe as well. Across the chest and the neck, this hold is wrenched in, and that knee digging into the back as well. Punk, though, able to get up to a vertical basis and sweep those arms away. Spinning back kick there by Punk. He's up against the ropes now. Look out, in comes Punk here off the ropes. Great slam. That is a great power slam there. Power toss, whatever you want to call it, from a Punk, but Okada coming in with power of his own in that big boot. Rainmaker to the top rope now. Okada will fly him nowhere home on that elbow drop. Punk moved out of the way right then and there. In comes Punk now. Okada in a dangerous predicament. Pile driver. Down on the neck. That has plagued Okada on numerous occasions throughout this reign. Every match we've been seeing Okada in, the target has been his head and his neck. And Punk knows that, and Punk needs to capitalize that anyway for maybe the GTS, if not for the Anaconda Vice. Regal Plex brought him down on that head and neck again, but the shoulder's up at 2. Think about it, he locks in that Anaconda Vice after all the punishment that Okada's taken these last 6 months on that neck. It's going to open up a window maybe for Punk to win that WWE title again. Right hand there on the champion in the turnbuckle now. Those shoulder tackles coming in. Not that much that Okada can do here other than withstand the offense. That's what's so significant about Okada as well. He takes so much offense. He has such a great defense in these matches. He's able to withstand the brutal punishment, and he's able to come back like it's nothing. Basement dropkick. We're up to 10 minutes now in this matchup between these two greats. Neither man blinking though on the other. Okada looking for the first big move here, looking for the tombstone. Punk counters, tombstone of his own. Great counter from Punk. Outside leg is hooked. Do we have a new WWE champion? Kick out says otherwise. We need much more than that to keep a guy down who hasn't been pinned in a vast number of months. Almost as long as he's been champion, I think it is. Shoulder first into the ring pole there for Okada. Punk again has him in that seated position, and great strength being executed. These guys have been training. You can clearly see that. They have been training hard for this match as well. Okada turns him around. Rainmaker maybe, no. Spinner back suplex instead. Nice cover. Has him pinned down here. Covers made. Count of 2. From that angle, it might have looked like Punk's hand was in the ropes. The referee had a great angle on it and says otherwise. Oh, is that an open-handed palm strike or a slap? As another spinner back suplex is connected. That one, way higher angle and way more power coming in there from Okada. He's turned this match around now into his own landscape. Okada dictating the pace here. Chin lock applied right now from the Rainmaker. It is locked in here. That knee dug in the back once again. Just wearing down Punk here. Wearing down that head, that neck, and the fight and the drive in Punk. Oh! But Punk comes back with one hell of a lariat there. Top rope now. CM Punk in. Sees the opening. Elbow drop. No one home. Took too long. Okada had it read long ago. And he capitalizes from this moment on. Has him backed up against the ropes here. Punk in trouble. Irish whip off the ropes. Drop kick. And now, Rainmaker pose. Could it be the beginning of the end? Could it be the Rainmaker on its way? No. Okada psyched him out. Tombstone from the Rainmaker. Psyched him out in that moment. And now maybe Rainmaker could be looking for it. Punk denied it. And a great denial as well. Snap me. Kick right in the back. Slow Okada down. Take the fight out of him. Punk got busted open on that tombstone. And now he might be out for blood of his own. High knee. Lariat. What is Punk going to look for here? It's another trip to the top rope. Could it be another look for that elbow drop of his? Punk. Moonsault. I didn't think Punk had that in his arsenal. And it almost won him the WWE title. Shoulder up in time there by Okada. Punk almost had him. Punk gets in another brutal knee on Okada, however. Like a spinning moonsault as well from Punk in that variation as well. We're going to see here Punk taking Okada to the ropes. Big right hand opened up there. Sees that Okada up against the ropes. Okada almost gasping for breath. It's a great opening for Punk to take full advantage. He'll do just that. Looking for the slam. Okada might have been playing possum though. The ring psyche of Okada is absolutely sensational. The way he's able to fake you out in that ring. And Punk even, oh look at that. Super kick in the gut, but it's Punk who's down on one knee, not Okada. This bout taking so much out of Punk. I don't think he's been to the limit like this in a long time. Okada goes to the limit every time he puts that belt on the line. His body can withstand this punishment, and that's what gave him that opening to hit a phenomenal air raid crash neck breaker. The cover is made. Is it all over? It's not. But Okada could be close. Punk, though, says otherwise. Counters made. Forearm shot again. He has Okada up against the ropes here. And again, he'll bring him down on that top rope. This guy's putting it all on the line. They know it's a bout of survival, really. It's almost like an Iron Man match for these two men. How much and how hard they have to survive to beat the other. Punk showing the signs of this match. On his face, the open wound as these two guys are creating and living up to the hype of a dream match. What is going to happen when a GTS connects? What's going to happen when a Rainmaker comes down? Huge lariat from Punk. We might not get that far. Anaconda Vice. Anaconda Vice. Think of the head, think of the neck, think of all the punishment Okada's gone through. Not only in this bout, but throughout all of his title defenses. How much that has to be killing the Rainmaker. He's kicking. He's not tapping. But can he fight out of it? Can he break it? Yeah. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Punk may have banked heavily on that being the end there. But Okada says otherwise. Look at this now. Rainmaker with forearms. Uh-oh. Okada's got fired up from fighting his way out from the Anaconda Vice. What a dropkick from the top rope. Cover is made. Is it enough? Is it all over? Not quite. Punk is still kicking out, and Okada still can't believe it. This is absolutely living up to the tale of a dream match. These two guys have done their reading on one another. They studied the tapes and they're producing a classic. But who caves in first? Is it the GTS? Is it the Rainmaker? Which move brings victory for the other here tonight? Both men have looked for it. Neither have got it. Punk staying in control in this moment. Side headlock takeover there. He's remaining focused on the head and the neck there of Okada. From the top rope, he comes down with a massive leg drop. And now he's looking for it. The opening is right there. These could be the final moments of Okada as WWE Champion. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. GTS 1, 2, no! So close. And Punk's reaction told the tale. Not shock, not horror, but almost stasis. Disappointment almost that wasn't enough. Now Okada is busted open in this one. But again, they don't give in. Again, they keep fighting. And again, Okada finds a gear in him that maybe no one else on the SmackDown Live roster has within them. He's still going. Punk uses the ropes to claw himself up. Okada standing there waiting and hitting the drop kick. Okada up to his feet, sending Punk in the turnbuckle. Oh, this is going to be a bad impact. Huge German suplex. Rocked him with it. And Okada, he'll continue the punishment. Both these guys know what it's like to receive German suplexes from Brock Lesnar. But it's Okada who's taken them from the repertoire of the Beast and is using them to his own advantage. Okada, much like Ricochet in the match prior, he endured. His body, as tortured as it may be, didn't quite give in. And now, CM Punk could be done for. Back superplex. Here we go. Is it the beginning of the end? Maintain your wrist control. A trio of wrist lock lariats. One last gasp of air from Okada. Rainmaker pose strikes. Rainmaker! It's over! Kazuchika Okada does it again. Dream match? Yes. Lived up to the hype? Yes. And has Okada cemented his legacy one more time? Yes. We are in a special occasion right now. One of the greatest of all time. And one of the greatest WWE champions of all time. Okada does it again. Who can stop the Rainmaker? Well, it's time to turn our attention away from that. It is time to close the final chapter, to close the book on this tale. It is Finn Bálor and the Good Brothers against AJ Styles and the Gorillas of Destiny. Bálor Club against the Originals. This is the final chapter tonight. The long road to this evening is finally here. Who leaves with victory over the other? Who gets bragging rights? The war paint is out for the Gorillas of Destiny. And AJ Styles leads them to the ring. Where do we begin? The tale of SmackDown Live since WrestleMania has been about the Originals, both with and without Finn Bálor. Both standing by and standing against Finn Bálor. These three, along with Bad Luck Fale, Becky Lynch, and Finn Bálor at one point, were looking to take over SmackDown Live. Cast your minds back to Backlash once again this evening. All title matches involved the originals. And in the Intercontinental title match, Finn Bálor got to pick the stipulation that evening. He picked a triple threat, and Tama Tonga returned, making it an effective handicap match against Jay White. So we thought. In the blink of an eye, the gun stun struck, and Tama Tonga won the Intercontinental title. That was due to AJ Styles' calling. There had been conflict over who led this group, over who was the true leader of the originals leading up to that evening. Neither guy held a title by the end of the evening, and they wanted to know who led this group. So they settled it at Money in the Bank. It was AJ Styles and Finn Bálor for the leadership of the originals. Bálor won. That should have been all she wrote, but it wasn't. It was the beginning of it all. Because out came Tanga Loa and Bad Luck Fale. We thought to congratulate Finn Bálor. No, they stabbed him in the back. The entire originals were opposed to Bálor. He was the leader in all but name, and from that moment on, he was an outcast in the group. He fought by himself. He fought alongside SmackDown Live, and at SummerSlam, the Demon came out to play against AJ Styles. He beat him on that evening, and we thought it was all said and done. Not quite. The originals' main instinct, the originals' main interests were to dominate SmackDown Live. They targeted everyone. They even targeted the general manager. But from SummerSlam onwards, they have been ensconced with Finn Bálor and nothing else. Not the WWE title, not the tag team titles, nothing but Finn Bálor. Can AJ Styles show that this infatuation, that this obsession with the originals, with his originals, wanting to end Finn Bálor is all for good reason here tonight? We are about to find out. This man has been at the center of it for months now. This is why it's the main event of Fastlane. Punk and Okada may well have been a dream match, but nothing has compared to the hatred, to the vitriol that these sides have been through for these last few months. Bálor out here tonight with all of Green Bay behind him at the same time. It was Bálor who challenged Styles. It was Bálor who said to Styles, let's end this at Fastlane. 6-man tag. AJ Styles said, fine, but who the hell are you gonna bring out to the table? Enter the Good Brothers, the 5-time tag team champions and close friends of Finn Bálor from a long time ago. And the men who took the titles away from Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa to boot. Now, the score will be settled here tonight. 6-man tag team action. It's not a tornado tag. There has to be tags made in and out. You can be DQ'd, counted out. It's not elimination. It is one fall to a finish. But whoever wins here tonight, that's it. It's over. AJ Styles has accepted this. Finn Bálor has accepted this. This has been out of the control of the general manager, if you had to ask me, since after SummerSlam, when we all thought it was over. When Finn Bálor fought for Team SmackDown, AJ Styles fought for Team Originals, for the leadership of SmackDown Live. But from that moment on, despite the fact that Bálor helped Christian James keep his job, Christian James has been out of control with this. He has not been able to have an ounce of control. And I'll be honest, I don't think any general manager could control this situation. It has been out of hand for the last, for weeks on end now, for months on end even. And it all comes to a close tonight. Which side conquers the other? Which side writes the tale? History is written by the victor. Well, which side writes the closing pages? It is our main event here tonight in Green Bay. It is our main event here at Fastlane. It is the Originals against Bálor Club. It is Tama Tonga starting things off with Karl Anderson. Here we go. The war paint is out for the Guerrillas of Destiny. And they are looking to go to guerrilla war here. They are looking to use all the underhanded tactics they can find. But it remains between these 6 men. No Bad Luck Fale at ringside. No intervention from an outside force. It is down to these 6 men this evening to finish this ordeal once and for all. Please let tonight be the end. Let this chaos come to an end for SmackDown Live. And the turnbuckle goes Anderson. Tama Tonga looked to come flying in with that splash there. Karl Anderson moved out of the way. And Anderson looking to strike early on. Machine gun. Driving the head of Tama Tonga into the mat. I am excited to see which way this will go. What chaos this match will bring out. Even though all 6 guys are adhering by the rules right now, I'm sure you can bet your money on this matchup falling apart at one point, and I'm pretty sure you'd probably get all of it back. And you wouldn't win anything because it's almost a guarantee that this match will fall apart. And the turnbuckle goes Karl Anderson of the Originals. Tag is made. In comes AJ Styles here. And let's see what will happen with a phenomenal one in the ring. Double drop kicks there. And look at Bálor. Right away, his attention turning to the man soaking in the ego right now. And Green Bay are not happy to hear and see AJ Styles reacting in that fashion. Powerbomb from Styles. The arms being extended out early from Gallows and Bálor, but to no avail. Snap me. Great counter from Karl Anderson. Booted him in the head. Anderson in. Counter made by Styles, however. A phenomenal one with such dangerous counters there. And Karl Anderson just didn't have the response to it, and turning his back on Finn Bálor. How apt. As he carries Karl Anderson to the corner. Tag is made. Back in comes Tama Tonga. Bad boy, a phenomenal one. Working well with one another from the off here. Tag is made. In comes Tanga Loa, and in comes Luke Gallows. Here we go. The silverback gorilla and the 7-footer colliding. Power in the ring right now, and a hell of a lot of it as well. Who will blink first out of these 2 men? Who's going to fall from their feet first? Whoever it's going to be, it's going to take a hell of an ordeal, I imagine. They are coming in with hard shots right now to one another. They are raining in the strikes early here in the corner. What a lariat. And it's Gallows who comes off his feet early on. Bálor trying to extend the arm out for a tag. Gallows may be tall, but he ain't that tall. Vicious headbutt there from Tanga Loa as well. You expect that from someone as hard-headed as him. Single-leg Boston Crab. The large legs of Gallows. Could be an effective point to target here to take away the fighting aspect of Luke Gallows in this contest here. One half of the tag team champions in trouble right now. Kicking him away, however. Tanga Loa trying to roll out to the apron. Trying to get in a bit of safety here alongside his group. Counters Luke Gallows there, stays on the apron. Gallows comes charging in. Right into that slap in the face right there. Uppercut as well. Neck breaker. This crowd is not happy to see the Originals in control here. In the turnbuckle we go again. Tag's going to be made. AJ Styles, the legal man. Great tags thus far from the Originals. Certainly proving their ability to work better as a unit right now. AJ Styles can go to work in the ring here. Snap me. Kick in the back. And what will happen from this moment on? Counter is made. In the turnbuckle, Bálor won't get his wish just yet. Anderson comes in off the tag here. Good brothers working together. Better than any tag team in the world, in my opinion. Double flapjack there on AJ Styles as Bálor watches on now on the outside. Imagine hungrily waiting for his chance in this match. But well aware of the game plan they would have discussed to lead them up to this moment. Irish whip here off the ropes. Counter there. Knee in the gut made by Karl Anderson. Drop kick follows up as well. Back and forth. Momentum is swinging back and forth in this contest right now. Neither side really able to pinpoint an advantage over the other. I don't even know the last time there was a cover attempted in this match. They want to, if they can, I think if both sides want to end it here, they want to end it convincingly. They don't want to end it from a roll-up. They don't want to end it from a cheap move. They want to finish the other side definitively. Lariat in the corner there. Oh, you knew. AJ Styles getting in the face of Finn Bálor. Bálor trash talking him right now. AJ Styles saying, come on then, and Bálor will. Left hand to Styles there. Oh, but Styles ain't taking it, set it down. Styles is going to go on the offensive. Back suplex on the apron. All in the while, Anderson stayed down in the ring there. Oh, but Styles turned his back on him. Karl Anderson capitalizes in the corner now. I imagine Bálor might be begging to get in the ring here, but Gallows returning into the ring right now. Look at that, you can see how eager Bálor is to get into the ring. I was telling the Good Brothers, get me in this match. I need in this match. AJ Styles may well have fired up Finn Bálor right then and there. But Bálor still not in this match right now, and Styles able to turn things around in that moment. And sending Gallows in the opposite direction to where Bálor wants him to go. Tanga Loa coming in off the tag here. Double backdrop. Oh my goodness. Gallows went way up in the air off of that one. Spear made from Tanga Loa. Cover made after it as well. Looking to finish off Gallows. Sheer kick out of 2. Styles going after Karl Anderson there. Getting in his face. Nothing being done about it. Momentum goes back in the favor of the Originals here. Duck under, huge clothesline. Takes the big man off his feet. The Originals are dangerous in that ring right now. Gallows crawling, and Tanga Loa almost rubbing in the fact they're letting Gallows try to crawl to freedom, off to no avail. Oh, but Gallows makes the counter in the turnbuckle. Anderson coming back in. There have been a lot of tags in this contest, not a lot of pinfalls, but they are working slowly but surely to finishing off the other side. Here we go now. He's waited for his chance and he's in. Bálor, the legal man in this contest. And right away, Green Bay rallying behind Finn Bálor. Sling blade from Bálor now. AJ Styles there holding his arm out. He seems as if AJ Styles was in this match right away. Pele kick there from Tanga Loa. Here we go. Here we go. Styles and Bálor, the legal men. And right away, they're going to throw down. Both went for the same game plan. Both men right for one another. And this one is boiling down right away, right in front of our very eyes. This is what we wanted. And they will lock horns once again. Bitter rivals until the very end, leading their groups into this bout and leading the charge right against one another right now. The field generals battling in the ring. Cover made off the power bomb, but Bálor gets the shoulder up at 1. Styles though trying to do as much damage as he can. Bálor pushes his way out. In the turnbuckle, he sends AJ Styles now. Hard knife edge chop. Snappers him down. Bálor coming in with speed. Basement drop kick to AJ Styles. Cover made. Kick out at 1. Finn Bálor, though, definitely getting the one up there in that moment on AJ Styles. Sending him in the corner now. Maybe the damage done thus far. Maybe saving himself for later on in this main event here. Double back elbows as Gallows is now the legal man in this contest. Hard lariat there from one half of the tag team champions. Finn Bálor standing on the apron now, watching on as Gallows looks to go to work. Counter made by the phenomenal one. AJ Styles striking back here. Ducks under, huge Pele. Huge Pele kick there from Styles. An advantage, a momentum. Quite literally just swung back into the favor of the Gorillas of Destiny. Tanga Loa, the legal man again. From behind, Olympic slam with incredible strength. Leg is hooked, covers made. Bálor makes the save there. But AJ Styles comes in from behind. Back suplex, face buster there. Starting to boil down in this matchup in that moment. Bálor rolls out of the ring. And now an effective 3-on-2 advantage for the Originals. If I was them, I'd make the most of it. I'd tag out right away. I'd get into some double team offense. I'd do all that I can to beat down Gallows and almost make it a permanent 3-on-2 disadvantage for Bálor and the tag team champions. In the turnbuckle, again, in comes AJ Styles here. Both sides making very effective use of the tags in this matchup. Styles gets in that double back elbow. Tama Tonga tagged in here. So too is Karl Anderson. Here we go. And oh my God, what a spear! Look at this! He ran right into it! Gallows rolls outside of the ring now. It's 3-on-1. It is 3-on-1 to the Originals, and Tama Tonga just realized it. Karl Anderson is the only member of Finn Bálor's side on his feet. This is a huge disadvantage for Machine Gun. And Tama Tonga seeming so much fresher in this match as well, so much more full of life. Look for the leaping DDT, Kanamade. Anderson looks for the kick, Kanamade by Tama Tonga, leaping DDT. Both men, of course, with the gun stun as their finisher. Bálor up to his feet, cover made. Will it be enough to finish off Anderson? Kick out at 2. Bálor would have hit the ring too late anyway. Bálor was up on his feet, but was he all there? I don't know. Look out though, Tama Tonga looking to strike, gun stun. No! Anderson counters. Karl Anderson comes in with a counter right then and there. In the corner now. Tag is made, Bálor back in. And Bálor getting some measure of revenge against the guy who started all of this all the way back at Backlash. She was the first to follow the instructions of AJ Styles. The first to go against Finn Bálor in the originals. Tama Tonga perches him up on that top rope. Dangerous place to be. Bálor counters, however, hot shots him on that top rope. Bálor in now. To the top rope goes Finn Bálor. Dangerous place to be if you're on the mat. Elbow drop from Bálor. Bálor vanquished. Bad luck Fale on SmackDown Live. And the only men left in his sights now are these three in this ring. Kanamade there by Tama Tonga. And a massive headbutt as well. And here we go again. With him down on his back. AJ Styles wants in. AJ Styles wants to end it. And he might be about to. Styles in position. Styles clash. Cover is made. 1, 2. Gallows saves him. Gallows in the nick of time with a save. What a save made. Referee caught up in the striking there from AJ Styles. This match, every moment where a pinfall is broken up, well, there's more than 2 men in the ring, it gets closer and closer to boiling down. Bálor with a great counter. Sling blade from Bálor. Gallows gave him the opening. I don't know if Bálor would have kicked out on his own right there. Gallows saved him, and Bálor's making the most of it. Bloody hell! Bloody hell from Bálor! In the turnbuckle now. And the tag is made. Karl Anderson, the legal man here, wearing down AJ Styles. Nice double shoulder charge. Look out, tag is made. Here comes the Silverback Gorilla. Tanga Loa tagged in here. And in comes Tanga Loa right away. Shoulder charges. Oh, what a knee. What a brutal knee in the face there. Tanga Loa in. Spin out, back suplex. Brutal strength. And nothing more than that. Styles recovering on the outside. Huge lariat. And Tama Tonga watching on as Tanga Loa looks to end it. As he looks for ape shit, maybe. No. Counter is made by Karl Anderson. Gun stun. Cover made. There's 1. There's Tama Tonga to the rescue at the count of 1. Gallows hits the ring and he hits down on Tama Tonga. Styles back up to his feet on the apron, but it's 3-on-2 still to Bálor Club. Oh, but Tama Tonga being out on the outside doesn't mean it's all over for the originals here. AJ Styles and Tanga Loa working together. Double knees in the gut. Double suplex as well on Anderson. Bálor holding at the arm here. Is he going to get the tag? Yes, he will. Bálor and Styles locking horns again. In comes Bálor. Misses with a forearm. And Styles able to capitalize. Here they go now, swinging for the fences. AJ Styles at the least is swinging for the fences. Swinging to try and keep Bálor down. It started with these 2 men many months ago. And it may be about to end with these 2 men as well. Styles in position in the turnbuckle. Bálor might be about to hit big. Meanwhile, on the outside, it's falling apart right now between Karl Anderson and Tama Tonga. Look out here. Oh my God. Reverse superplex. Meanwhile, on the outside, the fight has broken apart. Anderson taking the announce table down. He's got Karl Anderson's got Tama Tonga. Gallows dropping off the apron. Gun stun to the table. Styles meanwhile in the ring. Phenomenal forearm now. Bálor countered. Bálor moved out of the way. Tama Tonga out of commission. Bloody Sunday from Bálor. Gallows has Tanga Loa on the other side of the ring. Gallows sending Tanga Loa to the barricade. Through the table went Tama Tonga. Through the barricade goes Tanga Loa. Tables and barricades implode at ringside. The Gorillas of Destiny are down. AJ Styles down in the ring. Coup de grace from Bálor. But he knows that's not going to do it. He knows he wants revenge. History is written by the victor. Coup de grace. Finn Bálor will write that book. There's two. Finn Bálor and Bálor Club have beaten the originals. It all brewed down to a head at the end. Tama Tonga through the table. Tanga Loa through the barricade. Bálor Club win. Finally, this is put to bed. History is written by the victor, and AJ Styles won't be writing this book. Finn Bálor will. The Good Brothers will. They vanquished the originals. This, finally, is over. What the hell did we just see?